Okay, we are back. There is carnage. Bunch of people disqualified. Um, yeah, I think we're working now. I don't know what the hell that was. But yeah. So we have, yeah, Sek up in provisional pole, Noxie in second, Admiral Aladdin in third. Ronaldinho, we'll see if we can actually watch some racing of some sort going on. No, what's just happened now? Okay, never mind, we're good. Yeah, so there you go. Ronaldinho about to cross the line. Could be starting a lap, could be finishing one, who knows in the wet. So nice and slow through here. Gotta be very careful. You can see how wide that car's wanting to end up after that corner. Keeping it nice and chill though, Ronaldinho, which I like to see. Third, fourth, keeping it in high gear. Stop the tyre spins. Nice and relaxed. It's just a nice leisurely drive through Melbourne. We got yellow flags. So it seems like the sort of low 131s is going to be where our pole position time is. Let's bring up some data for everyone that likes the data. We've got a few people still in. DJ Millsy up into fourth. Vlad and Viking still yet to set a time currently. Alright, Ronaldinho is going to put in a 1:32.3, so does improve by a decent amount, a half second. DJ Millsy is bumped down to 6th with that performance. KC is on an outlap, so let's check in. Trying the inters. Now, I was wondering if somebody was going to do this. We can see a bit of a dry line forming. It doesn't seem dry enough just yet, but we will find out, depending on how this lap goes. First to try out the inters, which are almost always quicker if there is that tiny bit of dry line there. Nobody else going out on those particular tyres just yet. Alright, we're going to see KC start this one with a low gear, which is a little scary, but nice and controlled. We can follow on with the full lap, see how the inters are faring. V-Ducks with a crash out on the straight. Looks like an exit from the last corner that did that. Sek is on an outlap. We should see soon how these inters are faring. Not looking great. Sek is on the inters, on the wets as well, so that's probably an indication that this is not the strategy. But there's always rewards for those that take risks. We got yellow flags, that's just Sek slowing down, I think. Very, very scary to be out on inters. Also scary to be dipping a tyre in the grass like that. Oh, we have a bit of a wide one. As we come round to the second to last corner, we have a Haas that is parked somewhere nearby. Yep, just off the road there. And Casey is going to come around the final corner. Still a lot of straight to go, already at the 131s. So we're going to see that an intermediate time is about 134. So not quite enough to be improving, but still it's worth sending it out there and seeing what happens with the inters on. Champagne on an out lap as well. We will watch with what's going on there. Wet tyres, so we would have seen it if we'd have kept watching. Now we're going to have to get out of Sek's way here. Yep, very good. Sek keeps the lap going. Goes a little wide there, but sometimes that corner doesn't give you an invalidation. As we see Vlad R up into third now with Noxie in second on an out lap. I think we just saw Champagne possibly fail to set a lap just behind Sek there. Sek possibly just warming tyres for another run. We're going to see what happened to Champagne in a second. Yeah, as something similar to what might have happened to Vlad there. We've got just a minute to go left in this session, so the drivers will be thinking of going out for their final stint. As we see A-Lock there getting rather friendly with the wall. Vlad coming around with a nice, relaxing final corner in fifth gear. And is going to set a 131.2, which is good enough at the moment for provisional pole. So let's check in with the other contenders. Sek is 0.3 up, so sitting at a 131 flat right now, if the rest of the lap continues without change. Noxie 0.4 up, also sitting on a 131. Vlad will be able to complete this lap if there's enough ERS, which looks like maybe isn't the case. Alright. We'll see Noxie first, coming across the line. How does this final sector go for them? In fifth, up into sixth. Very cautious. Across the line. Loses that time back. Sek across the line is down 0.6 on their time and is going to be up in provisional pole with a 130.2, almost a second off the time there. Vlad is not on a lap, I don't believe. Could still be going for one. Cut a lot of that. No. Alright, so our current order is Sek and Vlad on the front row, with Noxie not managing to improve that time. V-Duck's going out a little early with a collision with the wall to go in fourth, and then we have Millsy, Aladdin, Ronaldinho, KC, Aussie Dude and Valhalla rounding out the top 10. And then we only have Hazza Hawk who managed to set a time. The rest of the drivers, all the way down to Snickers in 20th, did not set a time. So there we have it. Alfa Romeo looked a little banged up on the left front side of the wing. Okay, so racing should be underway. Let's take the time to look at the standings. So from last race, we can see Sek was the winner in Saudi Arabia, which brings the fight between McLaren and AlphaTauri a little closer down. Between Vlad and Sek, just 1 point. Between Noxie and DJ for third, there's just 1 point. Aussie Dude is also contesting it. In the constructors, AlphaTauri is firmly ahead for now, but we will see. We will see. Is it going to be the wet race, I wonder? Hopefully. I do like a good wet race. And as always, if you're joining us in the chat, let us know who you think is going to be taking the W today. Who's going to be on the podium? It's looking dry, pretty dry. So hopefully that leads to fewer safety cars than we had in, was it Mansell? Yeah. I think we had like 6, so hopefully we get like 3 here. Alright, we see the predicted pit stops there, of course. Most people are going to be going for the 1-stop medium to soft. Let's check the tyres. Alright, we actually have a bunch of different things. So the top 3 all on the mediums. Then we have Vidux looking to make some gains on the softs. Millsy looking to hold position on the hards. And then we kind of have a bit of a smattering of choice throughout. The hards are concentrated more towards the back and midfield. But we also have some softs down there. Champagne, J. Caribo, people to look out for. KC, of course. Should be a interesting race. We're, of course, on the formation lap currently. So the formation lap is a good time, as always, to thank our sponsors, Solid Shirts, Shutter Media, and Sim Racing SA. Thanks very much, guys. Check out links to their stuff. Join our Discord, our Facebook. You can catch up with people, jump in a lobby, or jump in a league. And it's just good fun, you know. So we see Sek coming around the final corners, looking to get a last little bit of heat into the tyres, a couple burnouts to get a little bit of rear temps going on. We're also going to see a few cars stranded on the grid that unfortunately have been disqualified. They will still get to participate in the race then. Alright, let's head on down the field a little bit. And we should, I think, we'll start on board with Vidux, who is going to get a very good grid spot. Probably a purple, looking right at that gap. And let's see how we go. Alright, final cars have joined the back of the grid. We have lights from Vidux's perspective. And we're away. Now these soft tyres are going to be great off the line. Already jumps one, can have a look for a second. might fight around the outside here going into turn 1 and does. So V-Ducks there all the way up into second place. We see a little bit further back, Aussie Dude has had some issues and is at the back of the field. Most other cars seem to be doing okay. We have some yellow flags though, probably an incident in the other part of the track. We have a nice move down the inside there. A-Lock is going to hold it all the way through, and he's going to take that position very nicely there. Right at the front we have Sec and V-Ducks battling it out. We are on board with Sec. V-Ducks has managed to spring the lead in a tricky part of the track to overtake there. So some very good work. Those soft tyres are just proving to be in a league of their own at the moment. A little bit further down the field we have Noxie, of course, making a move on Aladdin, trying to close right up all over the backside of the Ferrari. And a bit of a gap from Aladdin to Vlad, who is now a second behind. V-Ducks with the fastest time. Already better off than our best qualifying time. Full grid, yeah, that's pretty rare, isn't it? A little bit further down we have Jake Aribo, like I said, on those soft tyres, making some moves up the field, has just managed to get in front of Millsy, who's had a bit of a rough start on the hards. Wild with a 3-second penalty. A little bit further down we have Snickers also looking to close up on the back of Millsy. But so far, all cars still alive. The two Astons bringing up the rear. Noxie, KC have a little battle down into the what used to be a fairly tough braking zone. And down into what is now an even tougher braking zone with this sharper right-hander and this kind of brutal curve on the inside. They're all managing it very well so far. And we see A-Lock now has, I think, crashed out of the race, and I think that's a safety car for everyone. Yeah, it is. So let's ride on board with Hazard, see if we can work out what happened here. Has just gone straight on at that tricky braking zone, like I mentioned. Very rough. So that is going to be a full safety car, or maybe a virtual. I don't see the safety car out on track. Let's see if we can spot one of the signs on the way through. VSC is over, so it was a VSC, it's over, and there are penalties for V-Ducks and Wild for not adhering to that delta. So with VSC being over, we still have this battle between Noxie and KC going on, where things are getting very close. That's rough for V-Ducks for sure, that's pretty unfortunate. It was a very short VSC too, which is pretty weird. Usually they just go on and on. KC on these soft tyres looking to jump up the field a bit. Jake Aribo too. Most of the action we've seen so far is involving these soft tyre runners. Jake Aribo just making inroads onto Ronaldinho's rear end. We got more yellow flags. That is a McLaren of Caddo, and a nice little move around the outside there of Jake Aribo on Ronaldinho. And we had, was that a Ferrari? Yes, Wild has spun off the final corner. Oh no. And the other Ferrari, just as I mentioned it, we see debris strewn on the Ferrari curse right there, my bad. Okay, both of them crashed, no good. KC still with these tyres, just catching and catching now up onto the back of Noxie. Really riding those curbs, looking to close this up as much as possible. safety car would save him, yeah. Safety car is obviously very useful. KC having no issues at all right now, cutting through the field. Big gaps though. Vedux has managed to pull over a second, same with Sek and Vlad, so the top three are all nice and spread out. As we see Vedux popping into the pits now to serve a drive-through penalty. As Vlad now sets the fastest time. Where is Vedux going to come out? In 5th? That's not too bad. Lots of life left in those tyres too. Jake Arivo figuring that out himself. With these soft shoes on. We got yellow flags. That is another McLaren. That is Cato, who I believe was a back marker essentially at that point, and that is a full safety car. Alright, for Vedux that's pretty rough, but a full safety car is going to make things easier. Can swap tyres, maybe? Yeah, we'll have to see, I think, what the general strategy is going to be here. What is Sek going to do? 4 laps on the mediums. You would think that Sek and Vlad would want to stay out. Those that are on the softs probably want to be thinking about heading in. KC will be the first that we learn of the new strategy. Sek is going to come in though, same with Vlad to cover him off. Where is KC? KC's popping in too. So hards for the front two. A long stint remaining on them, but definitely doable. We've got more softs for KC. That is what you like to see. This is going to be interesting to see. So Avanti takes the lead. Aladdin, both on 5-lap-old mediums, same with Ronaldinho, have all stayed out. Vlad has been separated from Sek by a back marker, well not a back marker, but somebody who's not pit, so is out of position. So KC is the highest of the soft runners still, taking a second stint on those tyres. Must be liking the speed that it's giving them. Wild still with a penalty to serve, so let's check what that is. That's a 3-second penalty. Some position changes going on. Not sure what the go with that is. Change back, which is always good. Well, there you go. We're just going to cruise around Albert Park for a little bit while all of the cars catch back up. Yeah, that was a bit messed up. Oh, it's Cato. Yeah, nah, that's rough, man. Had a couple spins, did you? It's a rough track. I was bad at it. I mean, I was doing okay, but then my wheel disconnected and just drove into a wall, but track's tricky. Alright, we got lots of cars warming tyres. It's going to be tricky for Sek in second place here to get. People not really realizing tyre temps still sometimes reset. It's like a pinball. Red diffuser and couldn't handle the car. Oh, red diffuser sounds rough. Yeah, it's tricky because the way that the temps work, you know, some people, if you've got assists on, it affects you very differently, right? So some people can send it with cold tires and it's not an issue. But like you say, some people, the bug where it resets is happening and you're getting cold tires, and oh, it's like you're driving a different kind of car, you know. It's like you're playing on realistic performance sometimes. All right, so we have just received word that Ronaldinho will get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits, which under safety car is not ideal, but I've definitely been there. Yeah, it's not fun. Nah, it's pretty rough. It's one of those things though, like what can you really do about it? Alright, safety car in this lap. So we get a nice little view of Albert Park there. Let's ride on board, I think, with Sec for this restart, because handling temps on these tyres is quite the tricky puzzle. We're going to see how Sec manages it. Millsy and Wild still trading positions by the looks of it. So it's all about picking the right gear. Valhalla is out straight off the bat with an incident off the start. Sek has maintained position, although Aladdin is all over the back. We see some position changes there. Vlad is having a go at moving up the order. We've got big yellow flags up ahead, some debris on the field, but it doesn't look like anyone's in too bad a position. Jake Arrivo with a penalty for cutting a corner there and falling down the order as well. Wild taking the racing line. Ooh, going a little wide there, leaves Vlad to nip up the inside. And does so quite cleanly. Up ahead we have KC moving on the inside of this straight, which is scary. But with that extra grip, has pretty much free reign to do whatever. We'll check in with Noxy too, who's on these soft tyres and is going to be making a move down the inside as well, and late braking into this very, very tricky braking zone. Up ahead we see the two Mercedes. Seems like Vedux is stuck behind Viking a little bit, has the fresher tyres and is going to be wanting to get past. Noxy is wise to stick on the back here and use as much of this slipstream as possible. We have Wild dipping into the pits. Behind this battle, of course, we have Snickers, who's also eyeing it off, ready to see what happens. Noxy on these soft tyres, though, really wants to get moving. Sec up in second is all over the back of Avanti on these hard compound tyres. Just keeping this gap nicely. Viking and Vedux change position, which is going to be great for Vedux. And to not give up one to Noxy is huge. Although, having said that, Noxy is going to come down the inside again. He's really liking this move. We see a double of that move down the inside. And Vedux now up into 5th with Millsy next on the cutting block for Noxy, who's pushing him around the corner, dipping back in for the slipstream. This is rough though, because they're running very similar downforce, and if they're both burning energy, it's going to be impossible. Oh, very clean though from Noxy. Let's see if Millsy decides to send it back up the inside. Does decide to stick the nose in a little bit, and that is fair enough to give that spot back. Yeah, I think Millsy probably didn't have the space there, wasn't alongside enough to stick the nose up the inside. Very lucky to get away with Noxie not winding up off the track for that. Snickers runs a little wide and Vlad cuts up the inside, as he's been known to do. As we see, Champagne with a bit of an issue down in Sector 1 is facing sideways. Snickers is trying their best to stick onto the back of Vlad and keep up with this DRS train that's sort of forming here, all the way up to 7th. Sec is still just maintaining this gap, as we see V-Ducks with a DNF now. And a dip into the pits from Snickers, very wise, because there is a full safety car. So Snickers is going to benefit from this. What is happening? Wait, Snickers is first now? Did anyone see that? Or... where? Okay. I don't really know what's happening. I think that could be a bit of a bug with the order. But while we're waiting for everyone to go around and change tyres and stuff, let's check out a replay, if we can get it working. We can't. I've forgotten the button. Here we go. So this is a view of that double Mercedes move, where Noxie gets this great run out onto this straight on the Viking, gets up the inside, and we also see V-Ducks go down the inside of Millsy. Now V-Ducks moves all the way over to take the line. Millsy tries the cutback. But nice to see the same move duplicated there a little bit. So we should see Sec pick up the safety car here, I would think. Yep, we do. Snickers has returned to the rightful place of 12th on the leaderboard. And seems like peace has returned to the game. So we're on lap 12. By the time the safety car's over, it'll be lap 13 or 14. We should have another half of the race to go. The hard tyres of Sec, Millsy, well, Sec and Vlad definitely will get to the end. Millsy has a need to pit, I believe. Let's double check that before we... So yeah, Millsy has not stopped, but it does seem that Hazahawk... No, Hazahawk also hasn't, so there we go. Both will be pitting again at some point in the race. Millsy looking to keep hold of the track position right now with his Alpha Tauri partner Vlad there in third currently. Viking on fresh softs down in 10th, getting right up to the back of Hazza. Snickers, as we saw, or didn't see when that weird thing happened, is on the fresh softs too. So Sec is in with a good shot at this one. Millsy is going to need to either keep up with Sec or make it as easy as possible for Vlad to get past. Just because obviously Millsy is on a slightly different strategy, going long, possibly waiting for a late safety car. I think it would definitely suit Vlad to be in second right now. KC has gone soft, medium, which is a strategy that I think can really work when you get the right timing, especially under safety car. It's pitted twice now. 2 stints of about 6 laps on the softs, which is pretty perfect. And then a medium means that you're on the fastest tyres most of the time, which is, you know, pretty ideal, really. So I think KC in with a really good shot at finishing on the podium. And with DJ Millsy having yet to pit, KC is effectively sitting on that 3rd step of the podium already. Now, I must have missed somewhere that Jake Arrivo also DNF'd, because we had the ducks go out causing the safety car. And then Jake Arrivo, I'm not sure if they went out at the same time or just after the safety car. We're going to be going one more lap on this particular safety car, so Yoshi at the back just catching up in the Haas. And for one lap, we'll have a nice look at Albert Park, I think. So we see some people coming out of the pits now, or going in. So we see an Alpine and a Aston Martin, I believe. Yeah, Hazard and Snickers. Awesome. We've seen all the cars make their way through there. The safety car is coming in. And for this one, we're going to watch on board with KC, who is in 4th but has the soft tyres and quite fresh ones at that. So we might see a bit of action. Alright, we see the race restarted now. Some difficulties at the back, Wild with a DNF, and it seems maybe like Champagne 2 is parked there. Hazard also seems to be in the pits now, which is a weird time to be coming in. Maybe didn't get the opportunity before. Wild is definitely DNF'd though. Champagne still seems to be going, but could be having some damage issues. Vlad now really looking to get past Millsy, burning the energy. Millsy needs to make this easy for him if the team orders are coming into effect, which, you know, they seem to be. It's not worth battling too hard, especially if you're pitting. Definitely holding up KC though is going to be the goal for Millsy. Noxie now also on the hards is closing up on Aladdin. So some battles at different points here. The soft tyres on Ronaldinho and the Viking. So there will be another pit from them. Running nice and wide, using all of the track. KC is coming all alongside DJ Millsy and gets a nice overtake happening there. We also see Ronaldinho using the soft tyres on the main straight to get past Yoshi. And Aladdin Avanti going back and forward. We have Snickers in the back there, I believe, with some difficulties. So this whole battle here from 8th all the way up to 5th or 4th is really going to hot up soon. DJ Millsy is definitely the cork in the bottle here with those older older hard tyres, sorry. Although really they can just keep going for as long as you need them to. A little wide from Avanti there. Same with Aladdin. Viking is going to want to definitely start getting somewhere with this. Those soft tyres have only got a couple laps left. DRS is now enabled. Noxie fakes a move to the inside. Viking with probably the best exit out of all of these cars is holding onto the line. Noxie looking up the inside again is again not going to go for it. All over the back of that Ferrari though. Using all of the track as Sek has managed to find a 1.2 second lead that Vlad is trying to close. Seems to be running less downforce on the straight. Has really caught up to Sek there. Speaking of lower downforce, Viking just absolutely yeeting it around the outside there. And a crash has meant that that overtake has not been able to be followed through on, so Noxie gets back in front. Avanti now down in 11th. And Avanti straight back on the attack. Wants to be moving up the order again. Vlad with the fastest lap for now. Has the DRS, which is always good. And Viking goes around. Looks like he just clips the wall. Not sure if there's any damage. Seems like maybe not. Snickers again having some trouble down there on that final corner. Or could be Champagne, I'm not sure. Actually, I think it's Champagne. Oh, yeah. Looks like he was trying to pit. Definitely is now. Yeah, look, that's rough. So Vlad now has used a bunch of the ERS to close up. But if, as we see, Champagne does choose to DNF inside pits there, hopefully not causing a safety car, which is very nice of them. If Vlad is using the lower downforce, we should see that here, as definitely got a worse exit, but you can see the time just coming down and down and down and down. 2.5, 3/10 caught on that straight, with DRS of course, so DRS not as strong in this game though, so it wouldn't account for all of that straight line speed. So this could be a tricky one. Sek has the chance to get the better exit, but if Vlad's faster on the straight, then it's going to make things really tricky. We have Aladdin and Millsy going for it. Millsy, I think, was entitled to some space there, but backed out, and Aladdin slammed the door. Noxie looking on with hopes of an overtake here, is just going way quicker, using the energy. Is already past Millsy completely, and is looking at Aladdin. Has the DRS. And is using the energy when it comes off. It's just, you might as well, right? Aladdin's not going to be giving it up too easy though, and does use all of the track on the inside of that corner to keep it. But how long is it going to last for? I don't know that it's going to continue on down this straight. Yeah, DRS and ERS, and the overtake is complete. But we see a red flashing light, and Aladdin has 20% of that battery left. So there you go. Noxie is putting in a big performance this race. Has been pretty consistently hitting overtakes on all different kinds of tyre compounds, and is looking to just gap Aladdin. Hasn't managed it, and so the DRS train continues onward. But yeah, as far as the rest of the race, there's the battle for first, and then that sort of three-way battle for fourth. KC kind of out in no man's land, 5 seconds either side. Doesn't have a lot to worry about. Could be a chill end to the race for KC. As Vlad is not using the energy, but just with the DRS is closing so hard on Sek, who is patient with the ERS, still has a good amount to defend with. Vlad, though, is going to be saving more with the lower downforce, so Ronaldinho with a penalty for speeding in the pits is going to add 5 seconds to that stop. And you can see that just through these twistier sections, Sek, you know, can take the actual corner faster, but the exit is just crazy when you see the speed comparison. Like, look at Vlad just catching and catching here. Isn't using any ERS. Is actually slowing down to try and keep the DRS. Bit of some mind games there between the two. So this battle for first is really getting to the point where it's just strategic at this point. It's who makes the right decision, who overtakes when, who uses the energy better. Sek has managed to save up about 10% in the time that Vlad has saved about 20. So Vlad can sit here pretty much as long as they want to. KC now in the pits, coming onto soft tyres, so Noxie taking a well-earned third right now. We do still have Millsy, who's on the OG tyres still, 21 lap old hards, so you got to be thinking a safety car is pretty necessary for Millsy right now. If we get one in the next few laps, Millsy could come away with an incredible result. But it's all down to luck when it comes to that sort of thing. We see Viking just coming out of the pits on fresh softs too. But we, I think, should check back in with our race lead. As interesting as Millsy's 21 lap strategy is, it soon will be coming to an end, so we want to know what is going on with Vlad. 50% energy to 70% from Sek. It's going to be a hell of a last lap, that's all I can say. DJ Millsy finally pits. 21 laps. Probably onto soft tyres, you would assume. Where are they going to come out though? Probably 10th, maybe? Are they going to be able to score some points? That's the real question. So he's actually going to come out in 8th, so yes is the answer. No worries. Vlad, though, is burning some energy and Sek isn't, so Sek has managed to turn up the pace a little bit, which is making Vlad burn energy to stay inside the DRS zone. So this is important. Sek is going to need to be able to at least match Vlad for energy, but probably needs to be going into the last 2 laps with 15-20% more. And right now is doing a great job, is at 30% more. And as we can see, Vlad is sort of struggling a bit now. This low downforce is probably wearing the tyres a bit. The speed on the straight is great, but you know, things are already creeping up to that 9/10, 8/10 mark. And if Sek can drop him one time from a DRS zone, he's probably gone. So another 5 laps of consistency from both of them is very important. We have a couple more battles going on. Ronaldinho is also closing up, but has the penalty. So this one won't matter too much in terms of the finishing point. And Aussie Dude's still looking for some extra points, eyeing off Aladdin. He's on very similar tyres, as we see another yellow flag there from Snickers, who is butter back marker at this point. Sorry, Snickers. So on the second DRS zone of the lap, Vlad has managed to come down to 6/10. But you can see just through this sector, or the rest of this sector, has already gone way up and almost, Sek almost out of DRS there. So 80% Sek has. So this is going very well. Sek is driving a very disciplined race right here. Consistent pace, very little use of the energy. And to be holding off somebody with lower downforce, with ERS, and still be out energy harvesting them is pretty insane. So here we go, it's sitting right at that 9/10 mark. DJ Millsy with the fastest time on those fresh softs. Vlad still inside the DRS zone, only just, but Sek still has the 80%, 85%. Has just managed to save so much. And with Vlad needing to use it, and there we go, a 5-second penalty just for running wide out of that DRS zone. Sek will break the toe a little, but now with that coming through, that has pretty much confirmed a win for Sek, if nothing crazy happens. Still, we want to see if Vlad can get it done on track. And we have a crash between Ronaldinho and Yoshi, and that is a full safety car. A full safety car. So it was coming out of Sector 1, and they've just collided there. Both gone off into different walls by the looks of it. So Sek... No! What? Sek disqualified for ignoring yellow flags. Went past the safety car. So Vlad now in effective P1. What happened there? Did the safety car come out as Sek was going past it and he just thought he could beat it? I don't know, that is weird. Disaster though for the 2 leaders. Sek being disqualified, and Vlad now, having picked up the safety car, will not be able to go into the pits, or will lose a ton of track position if he does. So this is not ideal. If you're Noxy and KC and Aladdin, you want to be pushing as much as possible, as much as your delta will allow. Although once the safety car is picked up, I believe the Delta goes, so Noxie and KC can speed up as much as they want to close this gap. Yoshi has... So that was Yoshi and Ronaldinho in 11th and 10th, respectively, leading the race with a DNF there. So, pretty much everyone on the fresh soft tyres now. We see second and third have caught up to Vlad, so what is Vlad going to do? Is he going to stay out on old tyres? Probably just has to pit at this rate. He's going to come out in fifth or something. Yeah, good choice, I think. He's going to come out in like fifth or sixth, but it's just going to be impossible to battle it out on those tyres. Yoshi spun out and I clipped him. Ah, rough, man. Yeah, I think the track's a little too tight for a car going forwards and a car going sideways through there. Alright, so Vlad comes out in sixth. So, yeah, not great for Vlad with the penalty too. Avanti with a drive-through. KC with a 3-second penalty. So Noxie on with a win here. And I said, didn't I say just before? You all heard me, that Noxie was doing well this race. I said he'd been racing crazy good. Hitting clean overtakes. Driving all the compounds very nicely. And so this is a big opportunity here. Double points opportunity for Red Bull too. First and second, or at least a double podium. No commentator curse, but you all know what we're looking for here. Safety car in this lap has a Hawk 30 seconds off the back of the pack, and Viking's still not caught up yet either. So a Michael Massey style safety car here. They should have time though, so it could be okay. Noxie will probably want to slow this down to let them join. No, he's gonna sort of hurry through this a bit. KC is a long way back. Given the full Ferrari strategy, the full 10 lap cars of space. And Noxie is just going to drive off with a big gap already. Aladdin is going to be in prime position for the the second place. But it could be some team orders there, some team strategy that by the Red Bulls has just handed Noxie the free win. It's very, very smart there from KC. Okay, this is this is scary. KC, of course, has the penalty, so isn't really defending for their own race as they leave the track there. As we see Vlad moved up into 5th. KC gone a little wide there, and Aladdin is all over it. And there we have contact between... who was that? That was Aussie Dude and KC, I think? Noxie just driving off. Final lap. Fastest lap too. Avanti in 3rd with a drive-through, so will not serve that in the race. I'm not sure what happens with that. That could be a disqualification. Could be trying to go over the line inside the pits. That's a classic move there. We'll see what happens. DJ Millsy in 4th, Vlad in 5th, Hazza in 6th, Casey all the way down to 7th now, and Aussie Dude right at the back. So, here we go. Here we have the man himself, Noxie, coming through Sector 2 into Sector 3 of the Australian Grand Prix, the Hakkinen Series, the home race for 90% of the grid. Noxie has performed well on all tyres, has hit huge overtakes, has been on fire today, and Noxie will be your Australian Grand Prix Hakkinen winner. And was loving it too, you can see. Avanti choosing to take the drive-through on the final lap. We'll see where they finish, down into 6th. KC, everybody goes past. They cross the line! That looked like it applied 20 seconds of penalties, though. I don't know what that was. As a Hawk with the unofficial Codemasters driver of the day, but mine is, of course, Noxie. I think Noxie did really well there. Check your Twitch whisper message, bro. Yeah, I will get someone to do that. I don't have the Twitch login, but somebody does. So I will get them to get back to you. There we go. Huge. So the order is Noxie with the win and the fastest lap. Aladdin with a very clean 2nd place. Millsy with the 3rd. Hazza, Vlad, Viking, KC, Aussie Dude, and Avanti. The only drivers that finished. So just 9 drivers out of the 20 that finished this one. A couple that were like sec with the disqualification. That was pretty unfortunate. I don't know what that was really. But yeah, let's see if we can cut to a replay real quick and see if we can see what happened. No, this is a little later. So this is an overtake there by Aladdin up the inside. And a bit of a view of that incident. So let's watch it again. As we see, I think what happens is that, yeah, so Aussie Dude's going for the same gap. And Casey turns into it like he's not expecting another car to be there. Which is fair enough. Alright, there we go. So thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks for watching. These are the old standings, of course. So what has happened now? So Noxie has picked up a decent amount of points. Vlad and Sek have both a DNF. So Noxie with, what will he get? 26 for this? Is going to be right up the top, I believe. Yeah, 45? Huge. So there you go. With that win, Noxie catapults himself to the top of the drivers' standings, and probably Red Bull a decent way up the order too. McLaren didn't score any points. AlphaTauri did. So it could be Red Bull in 2nd by next week. We will, of course, check back in with that too. So that is the end of the stream for tonight. Thank you all for joining me. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for watching. As always, thanks to the sponsors, Sully's Shirts, Sim Racing SA, and Shutter Media. Check them out in Discord, Facebook. We got links. Join up. Send some people a message. Get involved in some racing, some lobbies, whatever you want. World's your oyster. Pretty much. Yeah. Thumbs up. Yeah. Thanks, Dave. All right,